Well, hello, diet disruptors. Check us out. Those of you that are watching on the video, you have to have some tips about what you think we're talking about today. Look at us. We have Coach Stacie here. Stacie's got her little pool inflatable, her summer hat, and her little summer cocktail. It's early in the morning for a summer cocktail, but that's okay. Maybe it's
Just lemonade.
I was gonna say, maybe it's non-alcoholic. And I have my little rosé all day because y'all know I love my rosé, clean crafted wine. So today we are talking about summertime fun because we are in the middle of summer. Stace, how has your summer been going?
So far, so good. We're leaving for vacation tomorrow, so I've got some ideas and some things to really think about for people, before you leave and even when you're there. So, yeah, let's get
Yeah,
into it.
that is what we're going to talk about today. So I have been traveling for a month. I've been back and forth a little bit, but I didn't honestly even plan on going away for a month. I have never, and Stacie and I have gone back a very long time. She's not just Coach Stacie. She is also one of my closest and dearest friends. We have lived all over the world at different times in different places. And together we lived in Singapore. So we've known each other for a very, very long time. And we have been on many, many flights, like long, long haul flights. And I have never had so many flight cancellations as I have had this summer. So
Yeah.
just in like 4 days, I had 3 flight cancellations. When my daughter and I were in Mexico, we had 2 flight cancellations. We were just like, I couldn't get home. But anyway, we did. So you're about to go on vacation, and I have been on vacation. I have been in Mexico. I have been in Cape May, New Jersey. And as an East Coaster from Connecticut, never do you really think about New Jersey as a vacation place, but holy cow, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And we were in Michigan, which an East Coaster doesn't always think about how amazing Michigan is, but woo, the lake is incredible. So I did all of that. And what are you doing on vacation?
Well, before I even say that, I feel like people are finding all these new little nooks and crannies and places to go, right? Because of what
Yeah,
else here, and now people are exploring so much more of our own country
I
that you
love
find like, wow, I can't believe this and I can't believe that. We
that.
actually, my best friend was home this week and we went out jet skiing yesterday. So we took our jet ski out for the first time this summer. So that was fun. Unfortunately, it downpoured on us a couple times, but we're a jet ski, you get wet anyways, right? But yeah, so before I even left to go on that trip, for just to go to the beach for the day, I had to think about what I was going to pack and what like the food I was going to have and enough food for the family and then have snacks for the kids as well and stuff
But
too.
where are you going tomorrow when you go on vacation?
So tomorrow we're going down to Chautauqua Lake, which isn't far from us,
Oh, yeah, I know where that is.
half south. And yeah, we're going to stay at a cottage down there with my mom and dad and my brother and his family. So I'm excited because we're all going to be together for a couple
We did
days.
that too. All my siblings and my mom and dad for their 50th anniversary. Okay, so we know
Uh,
that summer is like just it can be chaotic. It can be super fun. I love that I can bring out my summer hats. I can get myself a little bit of a tan here and there. Although I mean I am like full on 50 SPF whenever I go out because we want to keep our skin and our body healthy. But what we're going to talk about today is how you have so much fun in the summer, still living the lifestyle that we teach. Remember, y'all, especially for all of you new people, we are not about dieting. The reason we are called diet disruptors is because we want to disrupt the notion that you have to diet and deprive yourself to be able to crush your goals and to be able to model appropriate habits for your kids. Stacie and I both have girls. Like we are very cognizant of that. And yet we want to be in shape and we want to be healthy. We want to be strong and we can do both. But we have to be able to understand our bodies and we have to understand that food is fuel. It is not something to deprive us on. So we are going to get into how you don't have to feel deprived in the summer, how you can enjoy yourself, and yet how you are intentional, because obviously we're not just going to go hog wild. So we're going to talk about this. But before we do, I would love for people to put in the comments, where are your summer vacations going to be? And if it's just that you're not going away at all, but you're just going to maybe not work all day or spend some time outside on your front porch, staycations are the best. So put in the comments wherever it is that you are going to go or what you are going to do this summer. We'd love to be able to hear that. I think it's just important to change it up a little bit. Don't you think, Stace, from
Yeah,
the end of the day?
for
Yeah.
sure. You have to mentally get yourself ready as well.
Yeah. All right. So I'm excited to see all those come through. All right. So let's start in the Stace, the thing that we always ground everything in. And I think what makes us so different at Disruptive Nutrition is not just that we teach you how to eat. Yes, we teach you how to eat. We help you understand your food. I mean, the majority of people literally do not understand food. And the fact that we think we should take in less calories than we burn, that we should put our body at a deficit, which always floors me, because I always say, since when is a deficit a good thing? Like, never does anything flourish in a deficit. But to think that we have to put our bodies at a deficit, it's just a great example of how we don't understand food. And it's not our fault. We're not taught it, right? We're not taught it in school. And then the diet industry has us completely bamboozled because they want us to be able to lose weight fast. And then when we gain it all back, make us think it was our fault. So we go back for another diet. It's why it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, right?
Yeah.
So in order for us to be able to really, really dig in, because let's be honest, even us coaches, we all know what to do. We don't always do it. And it's our mindsets that we have to address first. So the first thing we're going to talk about are some mindsets going into summer, going into your vacations, going into whatever your plans are. And then we're going to get really practical with tips. Stacie has even been polling her family and been like, all right, y'all, what are we doing this summer so that we all stay successful? And that's how amazing this plan is, our approach is. Our whole families do it. We both have teenage girls. I mean, come on, right? Right. So Stace, as people are thinking about the summer, as we are planning about what we're doing, where do we have to be sitting with our mindsets about summertime?
Well, I think it's important first to realize that, yes, you're going into summer. And I think a lot of time people think like vacation mode, I'm on vacation. It's like, I often feel that way too. When I'm going away for a week vacation, I'm like, oh, this is when I can indulge. But you can't indulge every day, because then what do you feel like afterwards, right? It's that feeling inside. You all have been there where you're just like, oh, being in touch with your body and just knowing how you're going to feel the next day.
And I think that's one of the things our clients tell us, that they understand themselves so much more. They don't even, that doesn't even feel exciting to them anymore to just go all hog wild the way that they used to, because
Right. It's also important for, if you do that and you have a day like that, don't feel depressed the next day. Just get back on that horse and keep going. Because if you do, it's not helping your mind then as well, right? Because you're totally messing yourself up, feeling depressed. Then your stomach bothers you more because you're all upset. So if you do have a day like that, that's okay. I mean, I'm thinking one night when I'm on vacation with my family, we're gonna do a Sunday night. I'm bringing all this toppings for the Sundays, and we're gonna have a Sunday night.
Yep.
Why not? Right?
Well, I would say when we went to Cape May, New Jersey, every single night we walked down the street and there were 5 different ice cream shops. And it was like every night we had to decide which one. Now, I always got a kiddie ice cream cup, and they don't even advertise the kiddies, believe it or not. It's like small, medium, large. And I'm like, do you have a kiddie size? And it's not because I was on a diet. I just knew that there was a lot of sugar and there's a lot of stuff that wasn't going to make me feel good. But the kids were all excited about ice cream night. And I didn't want to be like, no, I'm not doing it. I wanted to do it. I was intentional about doing it, but I also was really thoughtful about how I was going to do it. And so that's the mindset we need to be thinking about. What do you want out of this summer? When you finish this summer, where do you want to be? And I know a lot of us could be like, I want to be 20 pounds lighter. I like the idea of being absolutely perfection on any sort of approach sounds good, but in all reality, you hit a barbecue or you go on vacation and you're not going to want to do that. So be realistic. So our first tip around mindsets and thinking about this is be intentional with realistic goals for the summer. Now, I always used to say something is better than nothing. And we used to have a program, actually, we may bring it back, but a something is better than nothing program, where at least if you're doing some things, you're not going to derail yourself. You're not going to sabotage. You're not going to make it worse. You might not make as much progress, but you still can have a ton of fun and you can take care of your body. And when I say progress, I don't mean necessarily just a weight on the scale. I mean, I know when I'm back now from vacation, I didn't sleep as well as I do, A, in my own bed, but B, when I eat really well, right? I had a few more drinks than I normally would have had. I definitely engaged with more dairy and more gluten than I normally do. No guilt, and I intended it, but I didn't sleep as well. You know what I mean? And so just really being thoughtful about, what do I want out of this summer? If you want your family time, and that means going on vacation, I want people to prioritize, what do I want out of this summer? Truly, at the end of this summer, what am I going to feel? And I know for me, it's a time I love being able to feel like I'm healthy. And so that's part of what I want. If that's not part of what you want, then ask yourself why. Okay. But if that's not part of what you want, then that's fine too. But it's just a matter of really establishing what you want and why you want it before you make any decisions. Would you agree, Stace?
Yes, I would totally. And if, like I said, and if you make mistakes, it's fine. Make mistakes every once in a while. That's how you learn. Just own up on it and get back out there and start over again. That's all you have to do.
So that's really important about PFC every 3. Remember, we have a protein, fat, and a carb every 3 to 4 hours. That balances our blood flow sugar. It boosts our metabolism. It literally gets our body to homeostasis, especially if the PFC is clean. That is such a powerful combination of our body to have those 3 macronutrients at the same time. And then at night, when because we've eaten great food all day long and we're sleeping 8 hours a night if we can, then we're absorbing all those nutrients during that time. And then it's almost like we're fasting at night, and then we wake up because our body is in motion, our body is moving, and then we're fueling ourselves with food. So that's the mindset that I went into on vacation. I knew I wasn't going to eat perfect all the time. I was going to be totally healthy, but I knew I was going to eat all day. My body needs to eat all day. I don't know about you, Stace, but at that 3 to 4 hour mark, if I'm not eating, I'm miserable.
Yeah, for sure. And I also notice if I don't get the right nutrients, like have enough protein, I'm hungry earlier. Absolutely. I know. Sure. I feel like I'm very in touch with my body. You know, even like yesterday when we went, I was packing up stuff for our lunches, you know, it's a piece of bread has so many carbs in it, right? So, and usually what do people have? 2 pieces of bread and a sandwich. So I usually do 1 piece of bread and make my sandwich on 1 piece of bread and have a half, you know, but I put just as much meat and everything else in it that I want. It's just that I do, you know, right? So
exactly. That's exactly right. And that's why our programs, I think, are so powerful, because we really teach these specific tips and tricks and all of that. But that's what we want to be able to do here, is give you guys some of that stuff. So get yourself in the right mindset, be super intentional about what you want for yourself, and be thinking short-term versus long-term. So one of the things I love about our 4 Weeks to Wellness Lifestyle launch, which is not open right now, but we're hoping to open it in the fall, is the discipline of declining. Learning how to say no to certain things so that you can say no if you have bigger goals, right? And like the short-term, oh my gosh, forget it, just give it to me. Like that impulsive, like, you know what, forget it. I said I wasn't going to, but I'm going to just do it. I want you just to be intentional and not break the promise to yourself. If you're going to go to a barbecue and you say to yourself, okay, I'm not going to drink at the barbecue, I'm going to eat and I'm not going to drink, or I'm going to be really mindful about my PFCs and I'm just not going to snack mindlessly during the barbecue. And the reason is because I care more about just engaging in socializing with my friends. I haven't been able to see them in a long time. Food is not the thing. It's my friends that are the thing, right? Walking into a party like that is going to change everything for you. So our mindsets need to be strong before we do. But there are a lot of tips that we have to be able to, like, do 1 piece of bread with all that meat in there, and some avocado or something like that. And you're going to have an amazing sandwich and feel completely satisfied. What else? What are some other tips that we have going into the summer? Because we can do this. We have to eat. Let's be honest. We have to eat.
Exactly.
And that live the PFC lifestyle, your body's going to tell you that you have to eat.
Yeah, for sure. So just make sure you have those grab and go. We have so many different ideas. We have those 20 different grab and go ideas, or 100 different grab and go ideas.
PFC meal. People can go get that in the shop. We don't have any of our programs open right now. We just closed our recipe subscription, which was awesome. That won't be open again until 2022. But we do have the 101 grab and go PFCs.
Right. Cool. Yeah. So having those, because, you know, sometimes you're just running out the door and you're like, oh, I want to go kayaking. I have to go to the sporting event, you know, whatever. Having those grab and goes are a great way to help you out mentally. And then when you get home, another thing I like to do is I like to prepare and have like a couple, like I like to cook some chicken on like a Sunday or a couple different meats and keep them in my fridge. So when I get home that day, if you're at a sporting event, no one's saying you're going to be home at 5 o'clock or wherever you are that day. It's summertime. People don't come home at the same time, just eat dinner. You might get home at 8 o'clock and you guys are starving. So what do? You're like, oh, I got to make dinner, or you go buy a pizza or something. No, have stuff ready in your fridge so you can just whip up a quick meal. It makes it so much mentally better for you to not have to worry about that and feeding your family.
100%. It is so, so true. And like we have a bunch of really great wild Alaskan fresh salmon that is frozen. And I can literally throw that in the oven frozen. And it takes a little longer, but I can throw that in there and with lemon juice. And, oh my gosh. And it's so fast. So like I always have something that I can make. And I think that that's important. So here's one of the things. When we were coming home from the airport, we had an empty house, like no groceries in the house. And it's overwhelming to think I got to go to the grocery store. My husband was driving from the airport and I had a list on my phone and his phone with Amazon, and I Whole Foods ordered. Now I will tell you, I paid more than I would have, right, if I had gone grocery shopping myself, but we both agreed the time was so worth it. So by the time we got, literally listen to this, by the time we got home from the airport, the groceries were 30 minutes from being delivered to our house.
Oh my gosh, wow.
What? So take a little, I mean, it might cost a few extra dollars, or just be really thoughtful about what you are going to buy and what you aren't going to buy. But as soon as we got home, we didn't have to worry about going to the grocery store again. But you also, like on your trip, you're going to go down. Why can't you do that when you go on your trip? Because you're going to be staying at a house, right? And get your groceries when you get there.
Right, exactly. We instead of packing all that extra stuff that we have to get, we looked ahead. It's great. If you know you're going somewhere, even if you're staying at an Airbnb you've never been to before, look things up, Google search, whatever. You need to search things out and see where the closest grocery store is. What do they have there? Is it a good big one where you can get everything you need? Yep. If not, stuff with you, but we know there's going to be a Wegmans right where we're going. And that's where
overwhelming is it to like do a Costco run or whatever and bring it all with you on top of packing it all. And then that's when we just are like, whatever, you know what I mean? So I see Nathan. Hi, Nathan, in the background. That's right. That's what the beauty is of being from home. I love that. So, okay. So we've got grocery stores. There's no reason why we could take advantage of our online opportunities and be able to do that. Here's one of the things that I think is so important is a routine regardless of where you are. So like when I was in Michigan, we're supposed to be there for 4 days, 5 days because of the flight cancellations. But I set up a routine every single day. I woke up, I go to bed later when I stay in Michigan. So I know I'm going to wake up a little bit later. That's okay. But I set a little routine up. I still like to wake up before everybody else does. And I set a little routine. My routine looks completely different in Michigan for those 5 days than it does at home. Right. And then when we were in New Jersey with my whole family, I had a routine there. We all went to bed a little bit earlier because we had younger kids and stuff like that. And I woke up and I had a different routine. I went for a walk around the block in this cute little neighborhood, but I set a routine up for myself. I bookend my days. My morning and my nights look the same every day. That gets me an intentional mindset about what I'm going to do. And it makes me feel in control. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Mean, routines are so important. And then you can be thinking about, it's not about thinking about your food. It isn't, because I don't think about my food, but it's just about having the right stuff available to you. So you don't have to make bad choices if you don't want to. Right?
Yeah. And with our family vacation we're going on, we've already talked about what meals we're going to have, what nights. So we kind of have prepared, and I know when I'm going to have what things and how much I'm going to have and what I'm going to have and everything like that. So that helps too, just planning things out when you're going on a family vacation with a big extended family.
And let's be honest, most people, if you're traveling with people that do not live this lifestyle, they eat a big breakfast, they eat a kind of whatever lunch. And sometimes you're like, I'm not really hungry because I ate such a big breakfast. And I want to be like, you just spiked your blood sugar. You are just throwing your body all out of whack. But, I only offer the suggestions when people want to hear them. But most people will do a breakfast, they'll do a lunch, and they'll do a dinner, right? You can engage in every single one of those with people. All you're going to do is be mindful of your portions and have an extra meal in between those meals. And that could be a protein shake. I brought my protein powder with me when I travel. It could be protein bars. When I was at the beach every day, I just had a few bars in my pocket. It was no big deal. I had, like you said, the grab and go meals. We had a little cooler and I threw hard-boiled eggs and carrots. I had sliced turkey. I had shrimp cocktail on the beach with a glass of clean crafted wine. And how is that, right? And I just made my clean crafted wine, my quote unquote carb, but I had some extra veggies on the side to make sure I got some nutrients in there.
Yeah, because people think that, when they go, they're going on a diet. They need to change the way they eat. You don't. Listen to what Carrie just put in her cooler. That's stuff that's like a fancy, nice lunch. It's not just like,
And I still did the ice cream thing each night, and I intended to. I would not do that if I was home, right? And then we know in our plan, once like we're really in it, we do an appreciation meal once a week where we have no rules and we just go out. So on vacation, you might do more appreciation meals that week. That's fine. Here's the thing about our lifestyle. Your body gets faster and faster as you do this. I've been doing this for close to a decade now. I am stronger now than I was 10 years ago. That's not supposed to happen. I'm leaner now than I was 10 years ago. That's not supposed to happen because, Stace, we're closer to 50 than we are to anything else. And so closer to 50 should mean that everything is starting to slow down. I think we're both living proof that when you stick with this for a long period of time, your metabolism gets faster. So when you go on vacation and you do a couple of appreciation meals, your body doesn't miss a beat because it knows how to metabolize food. You have a trusting relationship with it. It's like any relationship. When your body trusts it, you're going to give it what it needs. Like with your spouse, if you get in a fight, but you have a trusting relationship, you're going to make up the next day and you're not too stressed about it. Your body's like that. You have an appreciation meal. It knows you're going to get right back on the next meal and you're going to be fine. Coach Just always says this is filled with grace and kindness. Because you mess up a meal or you go hog wild at a meal, you're not going to be hungry at 3 hours, but maybe you'll be hungry at 4 hours. By 4 hours, have a bar, and get yourself right back on. You're never done for the day.
Right. Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, honestly, I feel like almost better than I did in some of my younger years for sure. And you're right. I'm almost 50. I mean, I got a couple more years, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm still working out every morning. I'm still feeling strong and everything. So I'm ready to retire someday in the next so many years and move on and do things and carry on and whatever. So
what's so funny is that now being closer to 50 than I am to 40, my why is just so less about what I look like and it's more about how I feel, what I'm going to be able to do when I'm 60. I know so many people my age or close to my age that are not really able to function. And I know it has all to do with the nutritional choices that they've made. And I'm excited about getting older and being able to just continue to live this really life of freedom and strength.
And
That's
isn't our
so much more than
Isn't our new next book study also going to do with feeling good at older ages and doing some things for your body?
Here's my book. I don't even have it. Those of you that are members, put a comment in there if you're excited about our next book study. We're doing the MELT method with Sue Hitzman. The diet disruptors that if you're not a member of ours, it's still a really great book for you to dig into about getting older and not having pain. So we're really excited. We're starting that.
Yeah. So that goes along with what you just said.
This week, I think. I'm so excited. Anyway, all right. Well, Stacie, thank you so much for joining us in our little summer wear. You're so funny. Your little breakfast cocktail. And now I love it. I love it. She's got her pool floating. Stacie told me when we were prepping for this, she's like, go get a beach ball. I'm like, I don't have a beach ball, but I do have a hat. Everybody should have a hat when they're out in the sun with their sunscreen. Don't forget. So put in the comments something that you've learned today, whether it's around mindsets, it's around tips, or just something that we made you think about. It's always so helpful when we're doing these episodes just to know what your takeaways are. And Stacie and I are both teachers, so we love a good check for understanding. So be sure to put in the comments what you're taking away from this conversation. And y'all enjoy this summer.
Yeah, don't neglect yourselves. Enjoy what you can. You can PFC balance anything. So enjoy it, even camping. So.
I mean, right, exactly. And I feel like at the end of the summer, you are going to feel empowered and so much stronger to know that you led a balanced, fun summer than a summer that just was like you were on spring break for 2 months. No, nobody's impressed with those spring breakers. All right, Stacie, it's good to see you. Have a great vacation.
Thanks. Yeah. Take care, everybody.